All right.
Welcome to the dark side. Isn't that a song? Into the jungle. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Hey there, you found Cameras and Car Seats, the podcast for photographers who are tired of being told to hustle harder while trying to remember if you grabbed diapers at your last Target run. I'm Jamie, your destination adventure elopement photographer who somehow manages to adventure with couples while raising tiny humans.
And I'm Alex, holding down the Lincoln logs in the Midwest traditional wedding scene, proving you can crush those weekend weddings and still make it to family dinner. If you're editing in the pickup line, scheduling client calls during nap time, or just trying to figure out how to run a profitable photography business without sacrificing your family life, you're in the right place. We're dropping real, actionable advice that actually works for mom photographers.
No bro marketing, no toxic hustle culture, just two photographer moms keeping it real about making this whole business thing work while raising our families. So grab your watered down iced coffee.
Ignore that pile of laundry for another hour or day.
And let's dive into today's episode.
Hey, today we wanted to bring in some real talk. We're going to talk about all things postpartum anxiety, depression, rage, and kind of the darker side of motherhood and how to deal with that when you're running a business.
The intrusive thoughts. So if you don't have kids yet, this could be a learning episode. We don't necessarily want this to be a scary part of
Not dark and scaries, but just real and like the stuff no one's talking about.
I mean, it is the dark side of motherhood, but it's real. It's a reality for a lot of us, and it's things you don't plan for because you don't know if they're going to happen to you, and you don't know what you don't know. And these are just our real life experiences with these issues, honestly. So if you can take something from it, just know that you're not alone. We have experienced this too. So let's just dive in let's start with intrusive thoughts. Did you have them?
Oof. Yeah.
They are not fun, and they are so hard to explain. It's like a lucid dream, but you're living in it, but you know it's not real, but you can't get out of it.
Yeah. I definitely I feel like I didn't always deal with it, but there were times more than others where even little things like anybody like holding my baby or something, I'd be like, they're going to drop them. Or it's almost like one of those, when you're driving on a bridge and you're like, what if I just, you know what I mean?
Yes. And for me, like the intrusive thoughts were so bad in the early days, and I even had them. So I had them really bad after my first was born. And then when my second came around, they started while I was pregnant because I remember what it felt like. And then the anxiety came up, and I was like, what if this car crashes into us? And then I'd be sitting at a red light, and I'd be like, what if this car just rolls forward? And then a train comes, and the most ridiculous thing. And then the light turns green, and then you're fine. And it feels like Final Destination. You feel like this is really happening and you're experiencing it, and then all of a sudden it's just poof, it's gone.
I feel like I struggle even still sometimes when my kids are sick, like super sick or have a cough at nighttime. Like I'll have to wake up and be like, okay, are they okay? Okay. Are they do I need to sleep in here with them? Do I need to keep them awake? Do I need,
Well, and then you don't realize it's postpartum anxiety when you're staring at your child, watching them sleep, because if you fall asleep, something bad could happen.
Mm-hmm. It was the worst with my first.
Yeah.
I would start to fall asleep, and it was that sleep where you're almost sleeping, but not quite asleep. And then you jolt awake.
Yes.
And then you reach your hand over, make sure they're still breathing, put your finger under their nose to make sure you can feel their breath.
And then you're just staring at their chest, and you're doing and then you lay down and you're like, no, the baby's fine. The baby's fine. And then it starts all over again.
But then it makes it worse the next day because you didn't get sleep.
Yep.
So then you're anytime, you're running on no sleep, but then you are still are they okay? Oh no, they're fine.
Well, and that's why I don't judge.
Nap when the baby naps.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit. But I also don't judge the parents that need the outlet. Because that sometimes your anxiety is just that bad, and the outlet can really ease that anxiety because you need sleep to be a good mother. You need sleep to be a good business owner. And this side of motherhood, let's just be honest, it sucks. This isn't the pretty side that you see on Instagram. This is the side where you start to feel awful about yourself, how you look. You feel awful in your body. You feel all the feelings all at once. And it's not fair, but yet we're here sitting, we're two people telling you that we've felt it.
Oh yeah. Especially like I struggled a lot with feeling like crap about myself, like end of pregnancy. Or even beginning of pregnancy, actually. Just pregnancy. I felt
I was gonna say, you just did not do well pregnant.
I don't do well pregnant. I feel super sick, but then also like it's weird because I was sick all the time, but then also you're pregnant and blood flow and everything. So it's like you're gaining weight, but then you're also not eating enough. But then you're just like, you just feel like it's almost like an out of body, like what is going on?
Mm-hmm. And then if you've already suffered with body dysmorphia, it's even worse when you're growing a human, because then you're looking at yourself like this, but then you're like, no, there's literally a human being inside me, or multiple human beings inside me. And it is such a vulnerable state. And I am a huge believer in how someone treats you when you are pregnant and postpartum. You'll never forget it, ever.
No, you won't.
Because it's just ingrained how you felt. It's just there.
And yeah, I feel like with each pregnancy, it got a little better though, because I was aware. And so I could kind of like tell myself like, no, you're pregnant. Like you are growing a human. It will be okay. Like you need more water. You need more food. Like do the things that are good for your body, and that will help your mind. And I feel like each time that got a little bit better with each pregnancy, but I feel like right after postpartum, that's like the most difficult because you're not yourself yet and your body is still adjusting. And I'm going to take a minute to talk about how awful it is when the nurses come in and they push on your uterus to like make,
if you haven't experienced that yet.
That's honestly like the worst. But during that kind of stage, up until a few weeks after, that is just when like, you're just so tired. You're just so sore. Nothing feels plus like phantom belly.
Oh, phantom belly's so weird. I still feel that sometimes.
Yeah. Like when you, I found myself like having to walk around a corner a lot further away, you know, or like brush your teeth further from the counter because your stomach hits it. We're super short.
For me, it was doing dishes.
And then after you're pregnant and you have the baby, you're still doing that. And then you're like, wait a minute. You like scoot a foot closer.
Well, can we talk about postpartum depression and trying to work through that? Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll just get postpartum anxiety and depression immediately after the baby's born. And then a month later, I'll be fine. Or 6 weeks later, I'll be fine. And for me, my postpartum depression hit when Mercer was in between 12 and 18 months. And I got super skinny and everything was awful. I wasn't eating. I wasn't me. And I vividly remember that because Mark is like, hey, your family's asking about you. Like, are you okay? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I feel like
nothing worked.
Didn't deal too much with that with my first two. But with Ev, I definitely went through a season when she was probably like 6 to 9 months old, maybe around 9 months old. And it was hard. And I had a wake up call where I was like, okay, I actually have to take care of myself and eat, because I'm one of those people that like has an abundant milk supply, like all the time. And I was having a hard time producing any milk at all. And I was breastfeeding, and I was like, okay, it was a wake up call for me when it wasn't just affecting me, but it was affecting my kid. Because then I was like, okay, now I need to like get myself into shape because it's actually affecting the people around me.
Well, and breastfeeding was so hard for me. 2 kids now, I have not been able to make it work, which is fine because some people just can't, and I am one of them. And I just remember it hit really bad with Mercer around 6 months, and then again, in between like 12 to 18 months, I had like a full on mental breakdown. But like when I wanted to be the perfect Instagram mom, like a Little Mermaid song. And rude awakening. Nope, it's not gonna happen. And switching to formula, my hormones were messing with me because I was trying so hard to make it work. There was other factors going on in my personal life, and then I was also trying to make business work and make bookings and connections and show my clients like I'm still me. Inside I'm dying.
Yeah.
And it's so much to juggle, and like you can't totally be open about it with you can. I'm not saying lie to your clients, but it's like that fine line of how how much do I tell you that I'm going through right now?
Right.
And I just switching to formula, like that really helped. Once I was on the other side and realizing it's okay. It didn't work out. Your baby's still fed. It's okay.
Well, and there are things that work for different people that nobody wants to talk about either. As far as like, I know formula versus breastfeeding is a huge one, but also like
all of those debates don't matter in the
they
end.
don't matter. Like, you know your kid, you know how to take care of them. You do what's best for you. And that's all that matters. Like your happiness and your kid's happiness. That's it.
Well, and just the expectations that you're going to do it. You're going to put these super high expectations on yourself of, I'm going to get back in shape. I'm going to lose the baby weight. But then like when you are sitting in it and you're thinking about it and it's, why is this a goal? Like this actually isn't a priority. This was, say, society's priority for me, but this isn't going to work for my life. This isn't the season I'm in. I would rather make sure my baby's fed, I'm fed. I have someone to talk to through the dark and scaries, and then I can get back to business and take it one day at a time. And in my head, it takes about 2 years for me to feel normal. And I'm just starting to feel that because Jet is coming up on 16 months. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm getting more clarity every single week. And you don't realize you're in that brain fog until you're on the other side of it. And then the further you get out from their birthday, it's like, oh, okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, I would say I fully agree with that because our youngest just turned 2 last week. And I would say it was like 6-ish months before that where I finally was like, okay, we're in the groove now.
Yes.
Like
I feel like I'm in a groove again.
Yeah.
And now, but I also feel like, oh, should we have another one?
I know. Oh my gosh.
They trick you.
They really do.
Because you get so far out of postpartum and then you're like, oh, I can do that again. And then you're in it again and you're just telling yourself, why did I do this to myself again? I'm miserable. I'm worried. I'm anxious. I'm thinking about all the things that could go wrong. And
I think it's just all the things that we put on ourselves, because I even was like, okay, I want 4 kids and I want to have them all by the time I turn 30. And so I'm like, that means getting pregnant like now to be able to be pregnant in off season. And so then we were like, okay, we just moved. We're trying to start a homestead. We're trying to renovate. Like, is that realistic right now? And just realizing like, why was that my goal? Well, why?
I went through that too, because I also said I wanted to be done having kids by 30. And I did. I had Jet 2 days before my 30th birthday. And now I'm turning 32 this year. And I'm thinking, I'm still a baby. I could have another one if I wanted to. I'm just a baby. You guys say, okay, Mom. But I feel like we put all this pressure. We have to get married by a certain age. We have to have all our babies by a certain age. We have to have, it's the 1950s housewives stuff. And you don't have to follow anyone's path except your own.
Right.
And I feel it's so hard to figure out what that path is if you don't realize what postpartum rage is, postpartum depression, intrusive thoughts. These are real things that I really want to encourage you to reach out to someone, whether it's a professional, your friend, your mom, your sister. They are real. They will get to you, and you are not the only person experiencing this. And yeah.
Do you have some things that helped you through that? I know for me, like Daniel could definitely tell when I was not feeling great. Like I told him a few days, like, I'm not getting off the couch. I can't get off the couch. Like, I just can't. And he made me reach out to one of my friends, and we went on a walk one night at like 11 p.m. and I got back home at like 1 a.m. Like I got out of the house, and that
touch grass.
Even that helped. Like literally touching grass and just talking to somebody helped a ton. And it's just like surrounding yourself with people who know you and are going to push for what's best for you, even if you don't want to do those things. Like, go touch grass.
For me, personal life, I cut certain people out of my life when I realized they were adding to the problem, not the solution. So I went snip. And also I did reach out to a professional. So I did actually get on an antidepressant for a little bit. And the funny part is I stopped it cold turkey because ADHD people, we never remember to take our meds. But I didn't realize I had forgotten to take it for a while, because it did help me through that season. It did give me the little bit of serotonin I need, basically, and just the boost. And it got me through that tough time. And then I realized the reason I was having such a horrible time is because of who was in my life at the time. And now they're not.
Valid.
Now they're not. And I haven't had as much problems.
Yeah. Those boundaries, man. Yeah. I put up so many boundaries and cut so many people out of my life that I was people pleasing.
Well, and people pleasing in business too. Mm-hmm. Like, I was taking a job because I thought I had to, because I was like, I need this money. I need this right now. Otherwise, all these other things are going to suffer. But things were suffering because I was taking something just for a paycheck and not because my heart was in it.
Right. And well, whether you don't have kids and you're planning to, or you do have kids and you want more, always take more time than you need postpartum, than you think you'll need. Like, prepare for more time, because you won't regret having more time. You will regret having less time.
Well, and postpartum it is a roller coaster. Some days are really good. Some days are really bad. Some days you're paranoid about everything your child is doing. And some days you're like, are they behind? Are they ahead? My kid's so smart. Oh God, my kid just licked the floor. It's community college for this one. But like, it's all just, it's give, it's take, it's sit down and rest. It's allowing yourself to feel your feels, and then make a list and try again tomorrow.
Well, and again, I know we've touched on this before, but like, stop scrolling. Stop scrolling and start replacing that time with something that actually makes you happy. Like, I went out yesterday and just sat on my porch and stared at the sky for like 15 minutes. And I was like, I actually needed this. Like, instead of touching grass, I need to stare at the sky for a little bit. Like, I needed that. Or just a walk outside, or just reading any like self-improvement books, or listening to a podcast plug, or like, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I'm like, what? Let's start listing some things. And I was about to be like, Hotworks. Hotworks is a nationwide gym, but you work out in a sauna.
I wish I had a closer gym here. I don't.
I'll be honest, half the time I don't work out. I just sit there in the sauna.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Especially in our Iowa winters. I want to sit in the sauna, and it's just, there's something about infrared saunas, man.
I'm going to go sit in a sauna with you.
But that's one thing that helps me get through winter, because especially if you're in somewhere like Alaska, where you only have 4 hours of daylight on a good day.
Oof.
Winter is hard, and we both have had winter babies, and also having a baby in general is hard.
Okay, I would rather have a winter baby than be super pregnant in the summer.
I've always been super pregnant in the summer, I guess. I don't know.
But I guess I hate my pregnancies are awful.
I think it's, for me, getting outside really helps, but it's harder with where we currently live, because we live where the air hurts our face 6 months out of the year. And there's just certain things like going to Hotworks, going to the gym. Honestly, sometimes just going for a drive, but sometimes that can make it worse.
Also, being more intentional about what you're eating. Like, I've also noticed, yes, like dyes or fast food or fried food or junk, like whatever, like totally okay on occasion, whatever.
Yeah, we're not plugging Don't Be Disgusting, because I love me some McDonald's.
We literally just got back. We needed a podcast break, and we were just like fries and burgers,
onion rings,
and diet pop. But like, that's totally okay on occasion. But I've noticed for me, when I'm feeling awful, I'm like, okay, have I actually like set aside a chunk of time to be like, no, I'm making a healthy meal to fuel my body that has real whole foods in it. Like, even something as simple as making a breakfast like that can change your day.
Yeah. Or good coffee. Stop drinking Keurig.
I'll plug my husband's coffee brand.
No,
Paradigm Roasters.
I think working through the times where you feel like crap is one of the hardest things to do as a business mom, because your spouse most likely doesn't totally get it, because they didn't have the baby. You had the baby. And so your body's going through extreme change, and then your business is going through extreme change because you now have different priorities, and we see you. It's a lot to juggle. It's a lot to handle. It's hard, and trying to figure out that new balance, that new normal, it's not an overnight thing. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have a plan of attack. I feel like the best place to start is talking about it, getting it out of your body, literally physically talking about it, whether you're writing it down or you're sitting with someone, talking to your partner, talking to whoever. Getting the thoughts out of your head, I feel like, is the number one, the best place to start.
Having that support system. One thing I also really struggled with, I got multiple times, was mastitis.
Oh, I've never had that, but I've heard it's awful.
The worst. It's awful. And I probably wouldn't have been able to get through it as much as I did. I had it once with Gwen, and then with Ev, I was really stubborn. I was like, I'm going to overcome this myself. And so I like wouldn't get antibiotics. I was like, well, I'm going to try the whole like cabbage leaf, and I'm going to try like a bath and all the things. And so it would go away, but then it would come back. So it never fully went away. So I like it, quote unquote, went away and came back like 5 times. And I finally was like, I have to get something.
Quit.
Yeah. And I did. And then it went away. But during that time, my mother-in-law came over and she was making me soups. She was making like tinctures and teas and like all this stuff, and help. Like having that person there to help you changes the game so much. And
I feel like we're so scared as moms to admit that we're sad. And I don't know why. Like it seems so hard to just be like, I'm struggling today. Or because I know one thing, I'll go up to my husband on some days and he comes up to me too. Like, I don't feel good. And then literally the next question is mentally or physically. And like physically, we mean I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Or like mentally, it's like I'm in my head, I'm spinning. I just feel like everything's falling apart. And then like the follow-up question is, do you want solutions or do you just want someone to vent to?
Right. Well, and one thing too, that I actually saw a post the other day that I completely disagreed with. And somebody said, you need to work really hard no matter how you're feeling. Like, even if you're having a tough day, work through it. Okay. There's two sides to this coin. Because one, are you just kind of feeling like I'm in comparison game? Like, I feel like you know yourself well enough to know there are times where you work through it, but there are the times where it's okay to, need to step away. Like I've seen people where it's like, no, push through. It's like, no, sometimes you need space. Like sometimes you're feeling touched out.
Those people that say that, do they have kids?
I know. I'm like, I don't know if they did or not. Like you're feeling touched out. You're feeling not enough. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling the rage, like all of it. Sometimes you do just need to take a break. You do just need to put things on the back burner and take a step away to refresh, feel okay again, and come back to it when you're feeling better. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're scared to admit certain things because we don't want our clients to see us in a certain light. We want to still look polished and perfect. And I think that's just the society we're in, unfortunately. And I don't know if that's going to ever go away, but
I think people view it as like a sign of weakness or something.
Yes.
You know, like when you have a business, it's like, okay, cool. Like I have this many weddings and I make 6 figures and I do this. They all of a sudden feel like they can't admit they're human and that they have weaknesses just like everyone else. When it's like, no, that's what makes you a person. Like they are not mutually exclusive.
So basically, if you are perfect, you don't belong here. Because we are the Messy Mom Club, where we feel all the feels and you're safe to talk about how.
And you can still succeed while doing it.
Yes.
And you can still take a break.
Yes.
Your work will always be there.
And I mean, I've hit huge financial goals and I always just think about like, that's all you wanted. You did it. But then I was like, that's it? And
am I supposed to be feeling something?
Right. Am I supposed to be feeling more? Am I supposed to? And I feel like it's hard to be content. I feel one of the hardest things is feeling I did it. I did the job. I'm happy. And I think we get through it, but it's okay to take a day.
When not constantly raising the bar.
I mean, do as we say, not as we do, because we were just scheming about a new idea that
Our
we want to
next
try.
idea that we're gonna launch, but it's fine.
But
what? Crazy.
literally crazy. I hope you guys took something out of this episode, whether you feel more seen, whether you're like, oh, Jamie and Alex are crushing it, but they also suffered from certain things. Yes, we did. And some days were impossible and we got through it.
And some days we still do.
And some days we still feel like crap. And whether our children are screaming, our house is a mess, our business is burning down. And not 2 days in a row are perfect ever. And we just want you to feel like you can talk to us in the DMs and all of the things.
Yeah. You got this.
Okay. Well, we will see you guys next week. And I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.